Hello, everyone. Welcome. I think I was sharing with the team that I always do this, but anytime I'm coming on, there's always some kind of nerve rush at some point that I never get used to it, obviously. But yeah, it's great to share my Saturday with you. But good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, wherever you're watching from. Now, I would want everyone, I think that it's been very engaging in the chat box, which I love it, definitely because we are more virtual, but we are trying to make it more friendly and, closer as possible. Please do drop in the number one in the chat box. We are about 150 here on Zoom, and I think the number is also fairly good on Facebook. Now, to see that everybody is on, please drop one. You can drop a fire. You can drop one. Let's see, let's get it coming. Let me see that all the names are still here with us and you're not sleeping. Sometimes, I've done it a couple of times. We can be on Zoom and we probably leave the phone somewhere. So it'll be good to have everybody here with us, and thank you so much. So I'll just go straight into the session. I can see the ones coming in. Keep them coming. I know that you are here with me. Energy is on fire. We are on fire to do this and get right into the session. And so I'll just quickly share my screen. Give me a thumbs up as well if you can see. I know you can see. We've tried it, but sometimes here and there, it messes up. For those on Facebook as well, there's still more time. There's still more space here to join us on Zoom. So if you want to join on Zoom, please do drop in our DMs and we'll send you the link as well. So we'll hop on straight into the session. Thank you all for coming. Prepared a PowerPoint presentation for you. I hope and I pray that you all have your pens and your pencils. I have my pen, my book here, and my pen because I'm hoping to write. As much as we are doing this session together, I'm also hoping to learn from this session as well. Like Eric said, my name is Lois Damte. If you are trying to look for me anywhere, you find me as a PhD researcher in a department known as the Nanoscale Energy and Surface Engineering Group at the Open University here in the UK. Aside that, I'm also the co-founder of Dear Young Graduate with Nana Duma in Cancer Jamfi. Now, I said that I'm a nanoscale engineer and mainly focusing on functionalization of two-dimensional materials for wastewater treatment. It's a mouthful, so pretend as if what you hear is wastewater treatment. Prior to studying my PhD, which I'm actually in my final year writing up, I had a joint collaborated MPhil program with the University of Ghana and Aston University in Birmingham in the UK. And that particular funding or that particular master's was sponsored by the Liverhome Royal Society African Award. And what I was working on was on nanocatalysis for biofuel production. And the reason I am saying all this is because entirely my whole journey and about me has always been on a scholarship, okay? So you see me mentioning certain scholarships. So if it falls in line with your area of interest, you can also jot them down and it will be helpful to you. That's why you need your book and your pen. Prior to that as well, in my final year of undergraduate, I had the opportunity to do a 3-month internship in the same Aston University where I ended up doing the joint MPhil with. So I know that a number of undergraduates are also here, and I always say that there is no particular point where you can get a funding. You can get a funding straight from level 400 or even in the 4th year because the opportunities are available, and that's why we are having this session, to be able to know how you can maneuver your way around it. So this fully funded internship was what got me the joint MPhil program with the University of Ghana and Aston University. I've also been a recipient of other scholarships, and which includes the Global Challenges Research Fund. That is an entirely fully funded scholarship that catered for my tuition fees, my flights, cater for some research expenses. I'm talking on a laptop right now, and I can proudly say that the laptop was given by the same scholarship. And they also have money to buy me almost about a 2,000 to 3,000 pounds camera, which I've not even started using, but I'll start exploring after school. I've also been an award for the Robert Stephen Bosch Award for Young Researchers. That was right after national service, which took me to France, Toulouse, to do an internship and also for a conference. And also through that, the Robert Stephen Bosch, I also got the opportunity to go to Ireland during my 4th year for a conference that was fully funded by Robert Stephen Bosch and the University of Ghana. Aside all of that, I'm also the co-founder as well of Dear Young Graduate, where we started this initiative to be able to give the visibility for the scholarships that are readily available. Some of them you wouldn't find on certain websites. Some of them you have to, tweak it here and there to be able to get those funding. So we'll learn about that in subsequent slides. Also, the director of an NGO called the Sankofa Mentorship Hub, where we are interested in sharing fun initiatives or fun science initiatives. And we just ended a 2-year collaborative project with 1 year, 1 billion Africa, where we were targeting the use of fun initiatives, fun scientific initiatives in the Ahafo region of Ghana. It was an interesting project, although everything went on without me present, but Eric, the project's programs manager, handled the project beautifully. Now that won us the Ghana Worth Youth Excellence Award in Science and Engineering. Now, I didn't add this particular one to the slide because it was just a current project. I had the opportunity through a very cold email approach.
We'll go back there.
Through a very cold email approach, I ended up with, can we just mute everyone? I ended up with an Apple project. So I worked as a materials engineer and climate scientist on an Apple project that is yet to be launched here in London, Manchester, and Birmingham. And it was a very cold email approach that won me that project. And it's a project in collaboration with Apple. And cold email has never worked this good for me. And I knew it, that the power of cold emails can get you everything you want if you are successfully able to, write very well. So I'll quickly now we want to meet you. Now I've said a lot of things about myself, and now maybe you might be able to see me somewhere and be able to pinpoint that this is who and who, but I might not be able to know who you are. So now I want to meet everybody. In the chat box on Facebook and on Zoom, please pop your name, the course that you studied, which country you are joining us from, and which university you attended. Like, I'm from University of Ghana, the premier university. I know Kwame Nkrumah University student will argue with me that I'm lying, but all the same, we will take it that way. So please pop in the chat box. Now, this is a very good exercise because you will be able to meet somebody that you have never met before. Now, in scholarship applications, a peer-peer review or peer-to-peer mentoring is very good because it will help you to meet somebody who is within your field. And through that connection, you'll be able to create that a healthy environment to be able to apply for scholarships by yourselves. So put in your name, wherever you're watching from, put in your name, the course that you studied, which country you're joining us from, which university you attended. I'm going to be mentioning it randomly. I'm going to be mentioning randomly as it pops on my screen. I can see Nigeria here with us. I can see some students also from University of Ghana here with us. Quite a number from University of Ghana, wonderful. UDS is here with us, also representing beautifully. GIMPA is here with us, All Nation University, great. UDS, great. I can see that. Keep on popping them in the chat box. If you have met somebody who is also doing your field, please keep a track of your name. You can also send them a personal chat to say that, oh, I can see that you are studying my particular field and we'll be applying for scholarships together. Can we do this over Zoom or something to keep ourselves up to date? It is a very good exercise. Now, peer review help you a lot in applying for scholarships. Pop somebody, look in the chat box, look at somebody doing your course, or maybe I can see Dar es Salaam also representing beautifully. That's great. I love to see that. In Sunyani as well. Yeah, that was a quick exercise. This session is going to be very, very interactive. So be ready to be popping things in the chat box. Be ready to be answering certain things here and there. Yeah, see somebody in the chat box and name one person, at least two people that are doing your particular course, that means study in your university, and connect with them here on Zoom, and reach out to them and connect with them on Zoom and find out what they are up to, what particular scholarship they'll be applying for. It's not a competition. The scholarship is a friendly journey we are all doing together to be able to get to a particular goal. You might never know who will help you at the end. Now, whilst we are doing that exercise, still be popping it in there. I'll quickly move on to the next slide and talk a little bit. I think Eric has given a very great overview of what Dear Young Graduate does. But what we saw was a vision to be able to share scholarship opportunities for everybody, mainly looking at developing countries. And we believe in the power of further education. We believe in the power of accessing opportunities that are readily available to you. But these opportunities are hidden where you cannot find them. Sometimes it's very difficult because it's clumsy here and there. You don't know where to go to. You don't know where to find them. We've been able to collate one particular source, one particular program all over social media for you to be able to access this opportunity. Now, we started with a team of 4. So the first 4 on the top there, we started with that and later moved on to adding Anababa Jacob, which was a team of 5. But now we have grown to enlarge our territory to a team of 12. Every absolute thing you see on our social media platform are by all these wonderful people giving their time and resources to be able to push this information for you. With a thumbs up, with a clap, with a reaction, give them a thumbs up for the good work they've been doing over the years, bringing this opportunity to all of us. And this has been great for the past 3 to 4 years, has been wonderful, and I would like to thank them all. They all deserve the best accolades they could possibly get. Now, what does Dear Young Graduate do? Now, before we get there, I want to give a disclaimer because we've had this in the past. Now, every program we run on Dear Young Graduate is absolutely free. Scholarship 101 is a part of it, and everything is free. No DYG member will give you a call or text you or message you to request for any sort of funds to process either visa or passport or travel opportunity. We are not an agency. We do not do that. We do not give you scholarships. I don't have the capacity or the power to give you Commonwealth scholarship. No. What we do is to enable you to be able to apply with all the resources that we've given you. So please keep this disclaimer. Anything that happens you will take full control of that. Do not fall victim to fraud. Now, what we do is post scholarship on all our platforms every Monday, Wednesdays, and Friday. Sometimes even the scholarships become so much that we cannot even share them on those particular days. So we float them Tuesdays, Wednesdays, as and when. If I were you, I always say that I'll lay a mat. Every social media, I'll lay a mat and a pillow and sleep on our pages because the opportunities come back to back to back, back to back to back. Now, we host online sessions like what we are having on various scholarships on Zoom. Sometimes we host them on Twitter Spaces. Sometimes we host them on Facebook Lives like we are doing now. Everywhere you will see Dear Young Graduate. We are doing something. There's always a scholarship that we are presenting you with. Now, we guide people to prepare for graduate studies, which is the Scholarship 101 that you guys are on. First, we had the intention of doing it for university students, but we realized that people might have finished university, people might have finished school, and they still didn't have the opportunity to be able to know these things because of the circle they were in. So we extended the reach to any graduate that wants to further their education. Now, we also review essays and CVs. Now, the capacity, like I said, the capacity is increasing. So we are opening that avenue to be able to review essays and CVs. I know people have reached out to me personally, but I also said that it's very difficult because I'm writing up, so I'll not be able to, but the team is there. You can always reach out to the team by email and they'll get back to you. Now, we provide one-on-one session for prospective applicants. Now, we currently had something we call Scholarship Buddy, Buddy as in B-U-D-D-Y. Scholarship Buddy provides a one-on-one with mentors that we have on our platforms. So we just ended a session, Scholarship Buddy. The next session will be opening in a couple of months after Scholarship 101. So have all your documents ready. When you have all your documents ready, go on the Scholarship Buddy and we will pair you with a particular mentor. You cannot hear me? You cannot hear me, team?
I can hear you.
You can hear me. Okay. All right. So people are writing, you cannot hear me. Please. Okay, thank you. So if you cannot hear me, go back, leave the page and come back in and make sure you enable your audio. That will help you to hear me. Now, this mentorship program where we pair people one-on-one with mentors is the Scholarship Buddy, like I have explained. Now, this session has closed, but there are still some mentors on our platform. We won't be able to revert back to you quickly, but if you need it, please do send to our email address, dearyounggraduate@gmail.com, and we'll be sure to pair you up with it. Now, Eric has gone through that, what Scholarship 101 is, so I wouldn't be able to, I wouldn't touch on this. But mainly, there are seasoned speakers from all over the country, all over Africa, and correspondings, wherever, who have studied in amazing countries all over, and they'll be bringing you the session by session. So today I'm doing introduction to scholarship. The next time you see me again is in June, but we'll all be on this platform. We have Joel Anaman, very, very serious career impact CV person who under normal circumstances you would have paid for, but this time around he's due to our collaboration and our alliance, he's ready to give you that, how to channel your CVs, how to write the best motivation, how to write the best statement of purpose, like back to back. So do not miss this session. If you've joined this session, do not think you want to join you have to follow the course very, very religiously. Olumi Wayo, I don't know if you are on Twitter. Olumi Wayo is all over Twitter. He's the owner of Scholarship Cafe. He's also going all out. He'll be taking one session as well. And so if you're ready, everybody here is seasoned in their own way who are going to bring you the session, so you do not want to miss it at all. Now, at the end of the session, what we are hoping is that every participant will be able to find a scholarship based on their courses and their country of focus. Now, we also know that there are some hidden scholarships at certain particular schools that you are not aware of. At the end of the session, we are hoping that you'll be able to find these schools and these scholarships, and we also want to help you to identify various scholarship websites and tips and many more. Now, we are going to take a poll. Now, ideally, we wanted the poll to be very interactive here, but we want to ask you, have you applied to any scholarship before? Put A in the chat box if it is yes. Put B if it is a no. Put C if you started but you stopped. Put D if you have no idea what it is. And put D if you think that it's only for a selected few, and so you don't want to bother because obviously, maybe it's for some politician's daughter. So what's the point? What's the point in applying for them? Okay, I can see that. Okay, I think I can see a lot of B's coming in. I can see a lot of B. Okay, so I can see some few A and C's here and there. So they actually started and they stopped somewhere. I can see B. I can see E. So you think that it's for only politicians. So obviously, what's the point? It's only for a selected few of people. Okay. Okay, I can see A. Facebook, I can see a couple of A's here and there. I can see B's. I can see C's. I think I can see more of B and C's, right? Okay, I can see B's. Okay, so the B to me here is that you have never applied for scholarship before, which is good, which is great to know. The A means, okay, I started, yeah, I've applied, but maybe there was a rejection down the line here and there. So I want to assume that. So for people with A, can you tell me why? Was it successful? Was it not successful? For B, C, D, E, we actually know that, okay, yeah. Okay, so I guess, right, someone is putting in the chat box that they got rejected. Obviously, that's why we are all here to know what we can do. Some people are saying that their results have not been released. Okay, so that is still good. It was successful. I think Giftiando, I'm hoping that's a journalist from Joy FM, if I'm not mistaken. Pop a thumbs up if it's Gifty, because yeah, I know that. Okay, so also, I have some friends here with us, so I also opened it up for people to join who have won scholarships, so that at the time when we are taking questions and answers, they'll also be able to pop in and be able to give us the answer. Okay, so still keep your answers coming in. So we'll just quickly move on to the next slide. Now, I just put together just a definition. I'm not expecting that. I expect that for people with B, you don't know what the scholarship is, right? So, but for people with A, you obviously know what a scholarship is. So for the benefit of being at the same equality point of view, I'll just briefly explain what it is. Now, it's basically a monetary gift. Take it as a gift. Kudi, monetary gifts. The Hausas would say that is given to an individual based on either their outstanding achievement or because they've met certain requirements that is made by a scholarship sponsor. So imagine your father wants to give you a shoe for doing very well in school. You will need to pass and do very well for him to give you the shoe, right? Great. Yeah. But if you don't pass, he's not going to give you the shoe. Now, your father can also make a certain requirement that I know you pass, but I still want you to make A in mathematics specifically. I want you to make an A in science before I'll be able to give you that shoe. So you can pass, you can become the first, but as long as you don't get the A in math and science, you're not going to get that. And those were the requirements that were set by your daddy. So for a scholarship, an organization is ready to give you that fund, but you need to mark some requirements based on the scholarship sponsor, or you need to be of an outstanding achievement if that is their prerequisite. Okay, now their scholarships comes in many forms. Okay, you will see that certain things to be able to sort out your financial need, or based on your academic performance, or based on merit. And people give, different organization gives different scholarships, okay? So when I started my introduction, I said I was funded by the Global Challenges Research Fund. Now that is a UKRI, which is a UK Research and Innovation Fund that is put together to be able to target developing countries, people that are doing extremely useful projects in developing countries, and they give it to them. And they are a non-profit organization, okay, under the UK Research and Innovation. Now, the UK Research and Innovation has other wings, has other, foundations, there are private-owned businesses that are supporting different courses and are giving different scholarships. So it can come in various sources, and all of them have their particular prerequisite. Now, this is a very important thing I want you to know, that scholarships can come in full package, okay? Or it can come in partial package. The first thing, if you're searching for a scholarship, is to be very sure what package it comes with, okay? For a full scholarship, usually they pay for your tuition fees. If you're in Europe, or you are in the UK, or you're in the US, usually your school fees ranges about 20,000 to 22,000 or 28,000 pounds, or equivalent in euros or in US dollars. Now they pay for all that tuition fees, and they also give you what we call a stipend. Now the stipend is for you to be able to cover your living expenses. For the UK and Europe, it's 1,200 pounds or euros in equivalent, depending on the particular scholarship you are on. It ranges from 800 to 1,600 or 1,800. So, but the cut across price in the UK is, or in Europe is 1,200. But if you come to the UK, based on where you are living, if you're living in London, which is actually very expensive, or if you're living in Paris, in France, which is very expensive because it's the capital, they tend to add another, like an extra money. So instead of the 1,200, which is the cut across base, they give you probably 1,600 or 1,800, depending on your area of location or the cost of living. Now, sometimes these full scholarships also give you flight costs with visa fees. My funding paid for that. My funding also paid for my health insurance, okay, which is the immigration health surcharge, okay. So sometimes those packages are there, but people don't ask. So if you have gotten a full funded scholarship, it is worth asking the organization or the school that is it possible to be able to pay for my flight costs or my visa fees. The mistake I did was that I also didn't ask. Now I went ahead to pay for my flight, only for the school to come back to me 3 days that, oh, my flight has been paid for and this is my flight. So I had to lose money for a cheap flight, which I was actually cutting my budget, lose money, and take what the school is giving me, because obviously it was KLM, which is actually a better flight option. But if I had only asked, I would have been given that and had not gone to go and book probably a Royal Air Maroc. I'm not saying it's bad, but actually KLM in terms of services is better. Now my funding and other people's funding, I also know, pay for research expenses. Okay, research related expenses. I said in my earlier introduction that this laptop I'm using was given by the school, and I have friends who were paid for in terms of camera. They were given camera for research activities. They were given drones for research activities. They were given conference money to attend conferences and stuff like that. So that's the full scholarship package. So you see the fully funded is given under that scope. Now you see also that there are partial funding, and I think that some 8 people in the comment section stated that they were given partial funding. Now the partial funding sometimes come with tuition fees, and even that the tuition fees are no more. Now the reason why I put this partial funding is that I believe that not all hands are equal. Some people might have money in their coffers and they just want a little bounce up. Okay, but some of us, where we are coming from far. See, even if you give us £10,000, probably I'll sell my mother, my father, my sister, I'll sell everybody and I'll still not have it. And I always say it, they know it. But some people do have that money, they've saved up, and they just need a partial funding to be able to subsequently, cushion their pricing. So the partial funding comes with sometimes just a portion of the tuition fees, or maybe sometimes the tuition fees. Sometimes they give you only stipend to cover your living expenses. And so sometimes I always don't advise people to go for partial funding, because the living out here is a different world altogether. Now, agencies can tell you what they want to tell you to fly you out of the country, but when you come here, the hassle is real. And I know people that we have had to support them, okay, at every point with what we have, just to be able to make them survive. You do not want to be a burden on people here. But if you have some money to be able to cushion you, that's fair enough, that's great. That's obviously, and you can go for a tuition or a partial funding. Now we just posted on our website, our social media handle, some partial funding that is being given by University of Glasgow here in the UK, and they are paying only for tuition fees. So that means if you have £1,200 to be able to take your accommodation and what you will eat, that means you can go for that scholarship and you're fine. So that's good. So apart from the partial funding and the fully funded, I just categorized scholarship based on different purposes. Okay, now there's merit-based, which I said that usually when you have a higher GPA or you have a very good academic standing, those scholarships are there. The reason why you need to know the purpose of every scholarship is because when you're applying, you need to know what to target. You need to know what the scholarship wants, and be able to channel your essays or whatever you are being asked to write in that direction. If the scholarship is saying that I need people of high academic standing, that means that you would want to present your transcripts when you're applying for that scholarship. If they don't ask, don't send it. Okay. If it is a merit base and you are a second class lower, I was going to say a 2-2 because that's how we call it here. Don't send it if they've not asked. I mean, we can't wahala with this. What are you trying to prove? Okay, because they are trying to say merit based. So I mean, it will be chosen based on merit. Now, their need-based scholarship, need-based is somebody who is less or not fortunate, okay, less fortunate, and they are trying to target that particular scholarship. In that means that you will have to present all the reasons why you are less fortunate, why you cannot pay for that particular education at that point, okay? Now, there are other ones called student-specific, and that one, they are maybe targeting people from developing countries, or they are targeting people of minority groups, or they are targeting scholarships for women in engineering, okay? So with that, obviously there's a purpose for that, and they are given that particular thing. Now, they are subject-specific. So there are certain scholarships that look at particular subjects. And most of the scholarships you find with that, but most of the generic scholarships out there sometimes do not look at specific subjects. But when you look, you see certain calls. There are certain calls that say that we want students in agric, in agronomy, or who have background in economics or agricultural economics, or who have background in chemistry, science, physics, that is a subject-based scholarship. You cannot, if you're having a communication degree, you cannot apply for that agronomy scholarship because it's subject-based. Sometimes you want to be able to shift. When you're shifting, you need to provide a very clear-cut argument. Why, as a communication student with a background in communication, now you want to go in agri? Now, probably you started agric farming with your father in the hometown, and you saw that it's something that you are developing a passion for, and you have 2 years of experience in agriculture-related field. You have 2 years experience in weedicide control. You have 2 years experience in probably greenhouse gassing, greenhouse farming. So because of that, you want to be able to enter agriculture. Now, you've provided an amount of information that shows why, as a communication-related student, you are shifting into agri, and that they will appreciate you because you are coming with a wealth of experience to apply for that scholarship. Now, there are university-specific scholarships. Some of them you wouldn't see online, okay? Some of them you would see, like the Glasgow Scholarship. If, like, Global Challenges Research Fund is given to only Glasgow, so you cannot use that Global Challenges Research Funds to go to University of Mississippi. It doesn't work, okay? So it's a university-specific scholarship. The scholarship is for that particular university. Maybe you want to go to Harvard, okay? And you're seeing a particular scholarship, but that particular scholarship is saying that if you're applying for that scholarship, you can only go to Penn State University. You cannot take that scholarship to Harvard because it's university specific. Then there are this unusual scholarship, the unusual scholarship where you have to prove yourself through essays or some standardized tests. If you're able to make that mark, you get that particular scholarship.